Go to NASCAR.com/Chase promo now and enter for a chance to win a new Chevy, Ford, or Toyota. Joe Logano bringing the 22 back into the garage as the 18's back out on track.
It's interesting, the 18 is the only one of the championship 4 that's running race laps. Jimmy Johnson's only run once, he's first. Carl Edwards has run twice now, he's third. I thought his second run on tires looked pretty good, Jeff. And then you have Joe Logano, who's run twice as well. He's 11th. So Kyle Busch, the only one of the championship 4 running race trim, and he continues in it at this point.
Yeah, Kyle Busch in race trim is faster than Joe Logano in Q trim.
Right. And we were wondering how much that tire up might have hurt Joe Logano. But, here we're going to talk about tire fall off and how it loses grip a lot, Rick. So if you look at Carl Edwards, he ran a 31.2. Joe Logano ran a 31.5 on their second runs. So he's still 0.3 off Carl Edwards.
Look at the wins this season. 1.5 mile tracks, 2 for Kyle Busch, 6 top 5 finishes, 8 top 10 finishes. Pretty good, 7.8. But a year ago, he had to win this race to win the championship. And a lot of us have agreed that we think, again, it will take a win between one of the 4 drivers to be able to claim the championship.
Well, one thing that I find really interesting is look at where Kyle Busch is running. He's not against the wall. He's running down there on the bottom of the racetrack, in the middle of the racetrack. If everybody runs the top, and you can only run the top, how are you going to pass? So Kyle Busch is working other parts of the racetrack. He knows that the easiest thing to do right now is to go up there where the 88 car is running and get that grip. But if he can make his race car work in the middle, make it work on the bottom, it'll work on the top. It'll be better on the top. But again, if you catch the 88 and he's on top, how are you going to get by him? So Kyle Busch is working on his race car for racing conditions. He's not worried about how fast it's going right now. He's worried about how it drives in the situation that he's putting it in so he can learn the things he needs to learn going into this race to make his car the best it can possibly be.
2 different strategies. Kyle Busch currently in race trim, making quite a few laps. His teammate Carl Edwards in qualifying trim.
Yeah, you heard I was talking about getting in the wall, and we did. We saw him get in the wall just a little bit, right in the middle, 1 and 2, and hey, get used to it. You know what I mean? That's just how it's going to be. You're gonna get in the wall. You can see he drives in the corner. Car gets up the racetrack, looks loose right there. Just can't turn it. Just lays it right against the wall. No big deal.
Said it won't be bad.
It's a new Darlington.
Let's go into the garage and Kelly.
Rick, you guys said it, the last 2 years, the champion has also had to win the race here in Miami, something that Carl Edwards has done here twice. He's the only one of these 4 championship 4 drivers that took part in a test here. It was the week leading into the race at Talladega. And obviously here at Joe Gibbs Racing, they definitely have an open notebook between the teams. But when Dave Rogers was asked if that was a bit of an advantage, he said, yeah, he thinks it is. He took his own personal notes. He said, I wrote down what I thought, things I saw when the clouds came in. And he said, so, Adam Stevens and this 18 team also have that information, but I have the personal experience. It's living it. It's seeing the cars with your own eyes. It's seeing the expression in the driver's face, that live experience. There's something to it. So he said, I think our teammates probably get 85 to 90% by looking at our notes. But how much advantage, Steve, do you think there is to having actually been there, done that?
Well, I mean, they didn't come down here and spend the time and the money because they don't think it's an advantage. Testing can be very difficult at times to measure. If you come here and the conditions are close to what we have in this race weekend, then it can help. But if you come down here and the conditions are totally different, it actually hurt, Jeff. You can go the wrong direction. But when you look at the crew chief, Dave Rogers, and that's really some of the key members of this 19 crew. Eric Phillips, the car chief, has a history on top of the box as a crew chief in the trucks. He's found a lot of success. I think that helps Dave Rogers out. But if you look at Dave Rogers, this is his 3rd different Joe Gibbs driver in 3 years. We had Kyle Busch in 2014. They won a lot of races together. Denny Hamlin last year. Now Carl Edwards this year. I think Dave's done a very good job adapting to different drivers. It seems this matchup with Carl Edwards is working.
It is working, and I can tell you what, Carl Edwards believed the test was good. He was. I saw him a couple weeks ago, and they had tested down here, and he was fired up. He believed they had a great test. He believed it would be beneficial. He was extremely excited about the test, and so he believed that coming here and testing was worthwhile.
It's been 5 years since Carl Edwards was here and ended up tied in the points with Tony Stewart. Stewart ended up getting the championship, but Carl Edwards says that was the most valuable experience he's ever had running for a championship.